should be available tonight. And Thad's the only other guy that's out. He's still out. So we'll probably know a little bit more. Tomorrow's a day off for us, what it looks like going into Oklahoma City.
Joe Cal, you got the next question. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, Billy, I know that first game you guys put a set defensive package scheme in and didn't want to stray from that. What do you do differently tonight? What is added? What is looked for? What is hoped for?
I think I heard some of it. You were breaking up there a little bit. Can you hear me or no?
Yeah, I could hear you.
Oh, okay. I think that the first thing is I'm going to go the same way we started last game. I want to see how we respond, coming off the way we started the game the other night. Certainly I think we've got to get back to shooters better than we did in pick and pop situations. I think defensively we have got to do a better job of helping, certainly at the rim, in load spots. We've got to bring, I think, a lot more physicality than we did last time. Certainly there with Cousins and Wall's a big, strong guard. I think the biggest thing for us was we looked at the things that we really tried to implement and install during training camp. And then you try to evaluate that, like, okay, was it changing the schemes or do we need to do things better? And I think we've got to do things better than we did it, in that last game. And I'm a little bit leery of just all of a sudden trying to make a bunch of adjustments because of the number of threes that went up. But, we short closed out on a lot of plays. We, didn't get back to guys. We didn't contain the basketball. There was a couple loose ball offensive rebounds that we gave up to them. So we've got to do the things that we know we can do and have worked on, and we got to do those things better.
All right. Rob Schaefer, you got the next question. Please go ahead.
Hey, Billy. The other night, Otto and Wendell seemed to both be kind of on a first half heavy minutes plan. Do you anticipate for those two that being a similar plan tonight? Yeah,
we'll see. I'll get probably talk with them a little bit, at halftime to see where they're at. Certainly with, the balancing act of, being less than 2 weeks away from playing, the fact that these guys have been off for so long, trying to balance practice, trying to balance their health, making sure we're productive, that you're always walking that fine line. I think during these next 3 games, you would like to see guys' minutes start to tick up with each game. And we probably want to try to do that with both of those guys. But whether or not that goes deeper into the third and fourth quarter, I'm not quite sure yet.
Thanks.
All right, Billy, our next question here comes from Christos with Sports DNA in Greece. So go ahead, Christos.
Hello, Coach. I would like to ask you, tonight's game is a kind of simulation for you about the regular season games. And also, could we expect more minutes of Patrick Williams tonight?
Well, we played Patrick, I think, 25 minutes last game. So, he's going to be important in terms of getting him out there and getting him on the floor, just because we've got, 4 preseason games. And I think it's the more experiences he can gain minute-wise, the better off for him. I'd imagine, he'd be playing, somewhere in that same kind of time frame, minute-wise. And we'll see, again, the more I think he gets thrown, the more he has to improve from these experiences and grow from these experiences. I think the better off it is for him. So, yeah, he's going to be a crucial part, of this preseason in terms of his playing time and minutes.
Thank you.
Darnell, you got the next question. Go ahead.
Thanks, Matt. Hey, Billy, are your starters the same tonight? And then number 2, Kobe White seemed to me, at least, to be hesitant in his first run in the first game. Did you notice that? And did you talk to him at all about just sort of kind of playing freely, instinctively a little bit more tonight?
Yeah, I didn't think he actually did that in the first half. I think he got to that, to your point, in that second stint where he came in. I think the way Kobe for our team in terms of pushing the ball, aggressive, there's a balance there, because I think when you've got guys like Otto and Lowry and Wendell and Zach out there's a balancing act for him. I've always think, as a point guard, you got to balance yourself in with that group. And, I didn't think that group, certainly, I think if you look at the plus minus, the way that first quarter started, we just were not very good on both ends of the floor, both offensively and or defensively. I thought we generated some good looks. We didn't shoot the ball maybe particularly well. We turned the ball over, I think, 6 or 7 times in that first quarter. But he's got to find that balance. Obviously, Kobe, I think instinctively and naturally is a scorer, and he's an aggressive player. You don't want to take that away from him. You want him to maintain that. But he's also got to balance the fact that there's other guys out there with him, who are good offensive players. And I think him finding that balance will be important for us.
And then your starters?
Yeah, I'm going to go the same way.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Billy, our next question here comes from Jonathan Fagan with the Houston Chronicle. Jonathan, go ahead, please.
Hello, Billy.
Hello.
This sort of homestand type of scheduling is going to be a lot more common, very frequent during the regular season. How do you think that plays out with one team playing the other multiple games more often?
I mean, it happens sometimes, during the course of the season where you may go play an opposing team's court and they come back and play you. It's kind of like almost like a home and home, so to speak. It happens, maybe once or twice during the course of the season. Playoffs, obviously, it's happening all the time. I think that's going to be, like a great challenge for everybody. Like you play a team once and then, how do you respond playing them, a second time? But I think because of COVID, because of trying to limit the number of travel days there are and trying to keep people maybe in one location, I think it's all part of the safety protocols and trying to eliminate maybe some of the things that, would promote, guys putting themselves in positions where, they could possibly get sick. So obviously there's going to be risks you're going to take. But at the same point too, I think what they're trying to do with a lot of these games where you're playing the same team, in your own building or on the road is kind of what it's all part of how all this is going to be new.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right. That appears to be the last question for us right now. So we'll see you guys after the game. Thanks everybody.
Guys.
Thank you.